Hi Taurus, welcome to your closer look reading for March. Everything you need to know about this reading is in the description box below. This is intended to be a romantic love reading, but it may resonate in other areas of your life. Also, this may resonate as yours or your person's moon, rising, or Venus sign. Alright, Taurus. What do we got here? A closer look for Taurus. Closer look. Taurus. Three of Swords. Why? Going on there. Ace of Swords, Four of Pentacles, Temperance, Six of Wands, Five of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. Alright, there's Taurus. And this could be set. Move over here. Uh-oh. Spill, car spill. Sorry, shuffling, moving things around. This could be Sagittarius. There we are, little guys. Taurus, Sagittarius. All right, so what's with the Three of Swords here? What's going on there? And I grabbed the wrong deck. Got all flustered. Wasn't expecting to see that Three of Swords out of the gate. Let's not dwell on it now. What's going on? So you mind, don't you worry your pretty little heart, or whatever the saying is. This is gonna resolve. Are you two just taking some time? Did you meet someone and this is like somebody moving out and you met someone else, or are you still dealing with something? Because this situation is going to resolve. It's not permanent. It is temporary. Well, temporary. Okay, so you're taking some time here. This is, but why? There's this feeling of like, oh, it's like you didn't get the result you wanted, and you're gonna have to wait. This isn't an ending. You're having to wait. There's a difference. Okay, why? What's this Ace of Swords? This Ace of Swords. Taurus. Ace of Pentacles. Okay. This is Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. Seven of Wands. What's his Temperance about? Okay. This Temperance about. Knight of Pentacles. This is Six of Wands. Here's the thing, Taurus. This is someone that's just not ready yet. There's a love here, but if you're wondering, if you're wanting to know what's really going on, I want to take a deep dive, closer look at this. This is someone that's just not ready, and that's kind of, I mean, at this, thus far, this is someone that's just not ready. But I think in your absence, or you two taking this time, they're going to realize, you know what, maybe I am ready. Maybe, and I don't mean to sugarcoat this, but honestly, this is, it looks, from what's looking here, is that you just had a heart-to-heart with somebody, or like you discussed what you both want in a relationship and how you both see it. Perhaps there was an argument, or you know, and I say temporary, but this is a temporary breakup. There might be distance involved here, so that could be why there's like tension, because neither one of you are able to kind of be around each other and see where this is going to go, but this is someone that's going to have to be thinking about this to the point of wanting to change their position on what you two talked about. This is someone that's not going to let it stand the way it is, but I think you're more ready, or you're just more either available or flexible, and this person either can't right now, or they don't think they can, because it shows a reversal of position here. This is someone that changes their mind after the absence. What's this? 5 of Cups. It says 5 of Cups. High Priestess. Okay. This is Knight of Pentacles for Taurus. Whoopsie. This Knight of Pentacles for Taurus. There's that 10 of Cups. So this is just temporary. But it's almost like you're like, well, this feels like, Taurus, you put your foot down and you're like, though this is High Priestess, by the way, this is Pisces or Cancerian. But it feels like you put your foot down and it's like, okay, this is what I want. This is how I need my life to be. And if I have a partner, this is the kind of partner I want to be to the person I'm with. And this is what I want from my partner. I mean, here you're featured here twice, and the issue of stability and needing to have a serious conversation about that, or understanding, okay, this is me understanding what my needs are and what I need to flourish and thrive. And someone is just not ready or in a position to meet you where you want to be met. But from all that's showing here, don't lower your standards, because they will rise up. This is someone who's going to have second thoughts about where you two left things, and they're going to be, it's not finished, this is not over. And it shows you two resolving this, but this is about you standing your ground. You don't like it, not happy about it, but it needs to be done. It needs to be done. And so this is you standing your ground. This is somebody that thinks they want this, or they think it's almost like, well, okay, I've got to deal with this and this first, and then you and I can pick up. And you're like, no. Partnership to me is doing that with you, going through the hard stuff with you, or helping you with that. Like, I'm ready now. And this is a very practical issue as well. Like, this is someone that thinks they need to put the relationship on hold while they deal with like a move or a job change or this and that. Like, their life is not the way they want it yet. And you're just like, no, there's good a time as any for us to be together, because I can help you with that. Like, we can move together with that. And part of it is because you're like, I don't like being partitioned. I don't like not being a part of who you are and knowing and things like that. And I don't think this person's used to that. I think that they're very controlled about how they interact, and their life is very partitioned. They're very to the point where the safest always is the most expendable, because business and job and money and all that take precedence, or security take precedence. And you're like, no, I don't want to be partitioned. I want to be a part of that. I want to be able to help. I don't want to be cast out when the going gets rough, because that's telling as far as, future endeavors. Like, if you're going to go, oh, you know what, I'm hitting some rough times with business, you and I are going to have to put it on hold. No. That's not going to work. So this is you two talking about things like that, and there might be a move involved. Could be distance also, but this is you saying, okay, well, I will be over here when you're ready, but I'm not breaking stride, and I'm not going to accept being partitioned. So we need to not deal with each other until you can kind of rethink things, or because this doesn't feel like a permanent break. It feels like there's initially it's about waiting, and you're like, yeah, waiting doesn't work for me, because I'm always going to be waiting then. And so instead of it just being kind of like, well, you guys are slowing down and taking a break, you're just like, no, I need to be over here and I don't want to talk for a while. But it needed to be done, and not to teach the person a lesson, but you're like, okay, if this is what you want, if you're wanting me to wait, this is how I wait. I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to keep to myself, and when you're ready, then come find me. Hopefully I'll still be available, but I'm not going to just kind of accept, one text a week, or that, like, it's very strange because it wasn't a breakup, but you were very clear about what you wanted, and it was like there was this time where a lot was unspoken, a lot was unsaid, and then there's this coming back together. It looks like your person is having a change of heart. The thing is, though, you could very well meet somebody else in the interim while you're waiting. There's a possibility that someone else is coming in. So you're going to kind of be busy, going to have your hands full. I think there's a love there with your person, but I think that they're, and I mean no disrespect, but almost naive if they don't know that you could handle what they're going through, because it's not another person. For the Tauruses I'm reading for, this is not dealing with you being partitioned because you're not their mainstay. This is somebody who's got a lot going on in their personal life or work, money, things like that, and in your mind that's no reason to shut you out. There might be some shame for the other person, or just that for your steady, stable approach to things, they don't quite have it all together yet. So there's might be some like, well, I don't want you judging me, or I don't want shame, and they don't want the pressure. So I think there was this talk, or a couple of talks, about all of that, clearing the air, getting things out in the open, and you two being very clear on what and how. And because of that, it's like, okay, we need to go in our separate corners, and I think your person asked you to wait, and you're like, waiting? No. I'll give you time to do whatever, but I'm not going to wait. Like, I don't want it to be about waiting. So it's not waiting, but it's not a breakup. So I don't know what it is. But it's like maybe you two had a big fight or something. Big argument. Because it just kind of shows you being over here, and then this person comes to their senses and kind of, says, okay, yeah, you know what, I get it, I do want this, I realize. Because I think what's going on with your person is, I think that they don't want the scrutiny from someone else about how chaotic their life may be because they make it that way, or because they're procrastinating and making decisions, or because they just aren't that much of a go-getter. They're much more, maybe it feels like things are very chaotic, and it feels like you approach things very pragmatically and practically, and it's a very methodical progression towards goals. So your thing is more of a system of maintenance, whereas their thing is like shoot for the stars and they always fall short, and then there's this cycle of shame. So I think with you, it's like they don't want the scrutiny, and they don't want, God forbid, what they've been working for to come to fruition. Because then what? Then what do I do? I reach my goal. Oh my gosh, what do I do? And it's no shame. It's just saying there's just a difference here as far as how they go about doing things, and it feels like shame. Like they don't want you to know a certain side of them, or that they're not all that. So instead of letting you see that, they kind of partition you and say, oh, we need to slow down, and then they go over here and shame deal with something and try to meh. So I think this is about getting that all out in the open, and this person coming back and going, okay, here's how it is. This is what I do. All right. What else for? A bit of a learning curve for them, I think. What else for Taurus? Healing. So we got temperance here. We got healing. All right. So this is perhaps someone that has been through something pretty rough, and they're wanting to take that time. Or you're just like, you know, I can't keep going back and forth like this. I can't keep being partitioned or being asked to wait or being put on hold. And you're wanting to just kind of stay under yourself and heal. They're thinking they can handle something on their own. You stay the course. It looks like they come back. So you're staying the course. And you're just like, nope. And there's a love here. So it's not like this was a dysfunctional issue or toxic or anything like that. There's a connection here. It's just in your mind, and you're right, in your mind, it's like, you know, we need to do something with this. We can't keep kind of keeping it at this sort of, you know, honeymoon level. Like you're actually wanting to move beyond the way things appear and get to the nitty-gritty and start progressing, because you want to know what you're dealing with. Like, who really are you? I don't just want the good part. I want to know what else is going on here. What else for Taurus? I can feel my throat starting to get wonky again. I have to get some water. I didn't bring my suckies in here though, my little peppermint things, so I have to go get those in a minute. What else for Taurus? Whoopsie. Look at that. 3 of Swords, 3 of Swords. Death. So this, we got the Ace of Swords right here. This is you speaking your piece and being like, well, I'm going to accept whatever comes of this, because for my personal standards and how I want a relationship and what I give to a relationship and can expect from one because of who I am in a relationship, aka I'm a very good partner, right? This is you saying, all right, this is me accepting the ending. And I think that clearing the air and having that kind of is a wake-up call for your person, and there's transformation here. There's an end to the old order. There's an end to the way of, this was very clarifying in that you can't keep partitioning me. You can't keep doing that. We're done with that. We're not going back to that. But if you want to be with me, or if we're going to do this, we can do it slowly, but there's going to be a commitment to us first, and then your drama or your issue second. And I think, again, I don't think they want you to see how they really are, because I think there's shame there. This is someone that it feels like they kind of gotten by the seat of their pants. And here you come along, methodical and practical and able to do and handle pretty much anything. And it's going to be a bit of a learning curve for them. But you putting your foot down and clearing the air and having this waiting period or whatever it is, this separation, temporary separation, because in your mind you're like, well, I'm going to accept this as it is. And I think it was because your person's like, well, I don't want the ending either, but I need you to wait. And you're like, I'm not waiting. This is either an ending or we're handling this. And so it was left at that. And your person thought, so it was like the in-between stage. It wasn't a breakup, but you weren't together because you kind of left it at that. And then here your person comes. Quite the possibility, though, that you're going to meet excuse me, somebody new in the interim. I'm getting some water. So I just... That's new, that's different. Somebody new coming in. Because you two aren't in separation for very long. Maybe a couple of months. I mean, it might seem like forever, but this is like 2 weeks, 2 months, something. Could be as little as 2 weeks, could be 2 months-ish. But that's someone else is showing up, but you don't really get off the ground with them because it's not like you want anybody else. And it's not like you're looking, you don't want anybody else. You're kind of disappointed that this didn't get to where you thought it was, but I like that you didn't compromise your standards. You know what I mean? You didn't be, okay, well, I'll just try this. Because so many times we do that and then we end up resenting ourselves and the person and we leave the situation anyway. So it's better to rip off the band-aid now and be like, I don't think I can live with that. I can't do it. Nope. I'd rather walk away and be in pain. You know, it's the pain of discipline or the pain of regret, right? What else for Taurus? 2 of Cups reversed. 10, 2, 4, 6, 10 of Pentacles reversed. So right now there's that stagnation or you two being like, but I'm telling you, it's not gonna last. For the Tauruses I'm reading for, they're coming back. You are not. You're kind of in this sort of, you're like, okay, I'm dealing with this, kind of pooling all my resources, trying to process this, just keeping on the down low. Your person's thinking about it quite a bit, and it's like they come to their senses. So they are going to come around, you are not. You're going to keep going and moving forward, and it's like they rise up. It's, in a way I do feel for them though, because it's for the Tauruses that I'm reading for, this is of somebody dealing with some shame about their life and about the choices they've made or that they do. Like, part of them, they don't understand. I'm surprised the moon didn't show up here. They don't understand why they do what they do. They don't understand themselves fully. And so they kind of don't want that to be exposed. And if they do, they want to control how it's exposed. And you can't. When you get to a certain point of intimacy with someone, it's like, here I am, They just don't want to be found out. They want to be seen, but they don't want to be found out. It's kind of hard to not have it, to have it both ways. Else for Taurus. For the Tauruses I'm reading for too, this is somebody that has been struggling either financially or with their job. So that's kind of compounding things, and there is going to be, but not until, like April, and there's April and the end of June. There's a job shift, it feels like, and they've been waiting for it. Like, they're kind of, that might be why they want to put this on hold, because they're like, you know what, I'm barely able to this or that make ends meet. Maybe that's what it is. There's this, like, I don't want to be a burden. I also feel like I'm here because I made stupid choices, and yeah, okay. What else for Taurus? Oh, what am I doing? I just did that. Well, why not? I pulled them. Why not? Page of Cups reversed, Page of Swords. All right, so we've got not talking or, things being cut off, but it doesn't stay there though. It doesn't stay there because someone might be being kind of just not thinking they're not handling it very well. Maybe they overreacted emotionally. and they'll come back around, but this is like, okay. And you're gonna kind of just let them stew and let them, not that you're letting them anything, but then here they come. Okay. All right. I hope this was helpful, Taurus. I like that you're not slowing down or changing your position, because this person has to meet you at some point. This has to progress. It can't just be someone keep putting everything on hold or keep being that scattered. It's like, no, at some point I need to be the priority that I should be in your life if we're gonna do the thing. If we're gonna get this off the ground. I'm ready to do that. You need to be able to, if you want me in your life further, that's where I want to be. Otherwise, I can't do this. And they come around. Not without the breakup or the separation first. The break or the separation first. Okay. I hope this was helpful. I hope to see you in the next reading. Thank you for stopping by. And you take care, Taurus.